What's up, guys? Andrew Binder back with another video. Let me start by saying, yes, this is very overdue. I've seen all your previous comments on videos I've done before on the bike, and as you can see, it's a bit changed this time. We're going to go through and talk about it, so let's start out with number one saying, and you guys will remember if you've seen the other video, yes, I did make this. I've made 4 of them. I can show you pictures if you want to see. Yes, I put it together and I do own it. I don't understand the confusion there. I don't know if it's jealousy coming into play or what's going on. I'm going to try and answer as many questions as I possibly can. I can't guarantee everything because I've actually been out of this sort of building for quite a while now. I'd say more than a year. I've just been using it. So I'm not going to remember everything, but here is an update. It's definitely a lot different than the last time you saw it. So I guess let's dive right in. So front, I put disc brakes on here. I put a 180 up front. I upgraded from the 160, and these are Shimano. They aren't the most expensive versions, but they are now hydraulic brakes. And I'll tell you, that has definitely boosted my stopping power because one, bigger rotor up front. I probably should do a 180 in the rear as well, but these hydraulic brakes really have given me more power down there, and I'm sure the pads are just ground through like crazy already, but that's the first thing. Last time, I think the Rock Shocks was on here. That I purchased a while ago. Someday I would like to get a custom wheel made, like the rear wheel for the front, so the spoke pattern isn't so different, and it's an actual nice wheel. As you can see, I did paint the rim of this. It is a, caliper. Yeah, that just shows you how much I'm out of this. A V-brake wheel. I painted it to match the rest of the bike. And I would like to put air shocks on this, although the base one from Fox Shocks is like $500 or $700, and that's definitely not looking to finish this right now. That's in the future. Yep, hydraulic brakes, bigger rotor in the front, really nice, really appreciate that. The front fender, this might be different. This is actually the Shock Blade 2 by SKS. That's right, because I have the SKS fender on back here, and as you can see now, it's a matching pair, which is really nice. And this is the one for the 29-inch wheel. It's not the 26-inch wheel one anymore. The nice thing also is it has an easy remove tool there. The bike definitely looks naked without it. Frame painted. As you guys saw in the previous video, or not, this frame is a Surly frame. It's an Instigator 2. They don't make it anymore, and when I got it, actually, it was on sale. I paid $400 for the frame, and that was just the frame itself. There was no base bike I started with here. The shock was bought separate. The frame I bought because the original cheap bike frame that we got, trying to put this new wheel setup in, since it's so much wider, because of the power output, broke. And I just so happen to be lucky, and this guy, Ben at Bikes Limited, helped me out and had this frame. We ordered this frame. It was actually already on sale. I think it was $700 to begin with, but it's a nice steel construction frame, which is what we wanted. And if we go back and look back here, I even had to take the dropouts here and take them to a weld shop and had them weld a little piece of stock in there, because this wheel was just taking this dropout here and just spreading it wide open. It wouldn't even sit normally in here, and as you can see, it's very brake dusty. But that just tells you how much I took it back to Ben. He says, I have never ever seen a bike do that before, so definitely a little bit more power running through there. But I painted it black. I did a full disassembly of the bike. I decided to do, that was the last project, is I rewired everything under there, and I disassembled the whole thing and painted it all nice so it matched. So it looks like that. Doesn't look like a cobbled together bike anymore. I got a lot of lights on it, and I'll show you that as well. But battery, Calibike. You've probably seen this before if you've seen the videos. If not, so this is a Calibike battery. LiPo 4 LIEP04, I think is the correct composition. Again, I don't know exact. I bought this actually quite a while ago. This battery is 2 or 3 years old at this point. 72 volts, 18 amp. I wish I could get more amperage out of this size pack. This was the maximum allowed that I could barely squeeze into that frame space. But it still has plenty of power. I mean, the bike gets up and goes right with traffic. I mean, I set her on cruise. I actually only have her on mode 2, which limits me to like 35 miles an hour. But if I push it up to 3, 4, that kind of stuff, she'll get right up and go 50. No problem for a little ways. And obviously, the slower you go, the less battery you use. She drains fast. I'd someday like to get an auxiliary battery pack to put on my back to give this thing more amperage, since this is a 3,000 watt setup. 72 volt, 3,000 watt. We'll show you a little bit about that. But all the wires are under here. This is the MOSFET unit. Huge. This thing was, I could not believe what I got when I took it out, because the last one I had just mounted somewhere, since it was a 48 volt setup / 52 volt battery I had on the last bike. That was version 3. I took this thing out of the box and I was like, what the hell is this? Because this thing goes all the way back to there. 72 volts, apparently you need a much bigger MOSFET unit. The wires under there are crazy. I don't even want to go into wiring. I have done every single thing to this bike and to all my bikes. Every single thing that could go wrong has gone wrong, and I've lost some of my electrical knowledge in the past. I could get it back very easily. I learn things very easily, but right now I'm just kind of using it and hoping that this motor doesn't end up like the last one. Story on that actually is this is a replacement motor, because the last one decided to lock up. I had this one laced into this rim, and this rim, see, this is where we get into trouble here. I don't remember, but this rim is also a custom rim from Ben's bike shop. It's a good rim. It's a very sturdy one. Highly recommended for high speed situations and stuff like that. But the motor went out because I don't know why. It completely seized up. It like 100% lock solid, brick tight, nothing. So maybe you can shed some light in the comments below. Tell me what you think went wrong. I've had problems to the moon. Also, I have a little bit of a stutter right at 26 miles an hour. It like transfers. It feels like it's transferring into the higher power mode, and then I can crank the throttle all the way, but it definitely isn't smooth. And it's happened with both the motors now. And this is a replacement unit, and I do feel it kind of grind a little bit every once in a while. So I'm wondering if it's a faulty MOSFET unit, or that's just how this 72 volt system works. Again, I bought this a long time ago. So there could, within the year or two, there could already be new, better versions out, and I guarantee you there are, because this kit was the only kit available at the time. I could not find another 72 volt kit that satisfied my needs. A lot of you guys asked for links for everything. I don't have links for everything since everything's really custom here, rock shocks and such. This, I'm pretty sure I ordered this kit off eBay. It was just a kit on eBay, and it took a while to ship because it was obviously not American produced and American shipped. This is definitely what I wait on the most. So I guess that's interesting. Back to the battery, as I'm going to be all over here. 72 volt, 18 amp. I told you the cell configuration. Ooh, did I? I don't remember. But a little bit of reflective tape in here. These batteries aren't cheap. I decided to go not with just the eBay make your own 18650 cells. I decided to go with getting a real quality battery. There's just something about that that's worth paying extra for. And this guy has helped me way more than he should have. Highly recommend looking at his website, Calibike. He'll get you all your needs. You can contact him personally with any problems. Everything you could possibly need is from him. Now, this battery, when I bought it, I think I got a little bit of a sale on it. It was about $850. That just goes to show you, you get quality batteries, you pay prices for it. 72 volt batteries aren't cheap. None of this is beyond the normal scope of what people make electric bikes as in it's such a high powered setup that the support for it is not out there. It just doesn't exist. Again, faulting here on my words, but this distance here is way wider than a standard wheel. You need to have the ability to put some custom stuff, do some custom work. These forks, good thing this is a steel frame because these are bent out. These are bent out quite a bit from what a standard wheel would be. There just isn't support for it. So you pay for the batteries. I could have gotten a bigger capacity battery, but that would have to been mounted back there, and it would have been one of those big blue ones. And I definitely do like my whole setup here. But I guess that just goes to show you what the batteries are like. This cover, this is made out of cardboard and tape. It works very well. It repels water well. As you can see, it's keeping stuff off all my wires. Charging port is right there. I actually have two chargers. I have a slow charger and a fast charger for this now because I've had bad charging issues in the past. I don't know what caused it, and I was... A lot of things. You pay a price for having this kind of stuff. It's not all fun and games. I'd say it's just like my car you've probably seen on my channel. It's a love-hate relationship in the equal portions. Hard lock. I ride this to school every once in a while. When I was living in the dorms, this was my transportation everywhere. And since we are in La Crosse, very well known for bike theft, and if they're gonna take a bike that's worth money, this is going to be the one. I think, frankly, some people are scared of it when they see all the wires and all the stuff on it, which is good because it scares them off, but I don't really trust that I would get it back if it were to be stolen, so it's also GPS enabled inside there. Somewhere in that battery pack there is something that has enabled a GPS location, and it won't be exact. I'll have to do some digging, but if it disappears I can just pull it up on my phone and go hunting, which is nice. So this, people think, oh, what is this? What is this? Obviously the technology people will know what this is. It's nothing special. It's part of my lighting package. I like to reroute the lights a lot on here, and this strand is already broke. But I tried to get it down the frame there. Tried to get it over to the other side there. As you can see, that portion broke right there on the bottom, which is unfortunate, but oh, it's staying on. At night, this thing is quite a Christmas tree, I'll tell you, because we got, the disco lights and those lights and an underglow light and a mini light because my other one broke. The mirror over here lights up. The front lights up. I mean, I don't know. Just something I like to do. And, the police can't argue with you because the brighter you are, the more visible you are. And I just ride right down the road with traffic, and they seem to be okay with that. Obviously, as long as I'm keeping up with traffic, when people get mad is when, bikers are riding on the road like they're supposed to, but they're going way slower. People get very angry at that, but this thing goes right with the program. This up here, it's just a little case. Kind of fills in the gap there, since there was a gap. That was kind of annoying there. And also, I forgot about those lights, actually. I forgot I completely installed those. Yeah, fork lights. White ones up there. Really like those. Nice little addition there. Again, you can see what this is. Some of you are going to know way more than me right now. I used to know everything and every little detail about this, but this is the system. It was off eBay at the time. What did I pay? I think I actually paid $550 for the electrics without the battery because it was such a high powered setup. Now, given you can get 48, 52 volt systems today for hundreds, like in the hundreds of dollars, 170, 220, stuff like that. But I was looking for an upgrade, and that you had to pay. You had to pay for all that. So the neck is still off an old bike. The handlebars are still off an old bike. These are, I cut the grips. These are a little bit more custom grips. I like the foam ones better, but these ones actually provide more grip. The foam ones are much more comfortable to ride, though. Mirror there definitely helps with visibility. Going back here, you can see this is a thud buster. I bought this used off Ben from Bikes Limited. He just so happened to accidentally get it in. He said the guy really took care of it. He was a little bit heavier guy, so he had the heavier rubbers in it, and I still have all the original pieces to this, but as you can see, not very well, but you see what that does. So when I sit on it, we had to custom make this bracket here to fit my fender, because I really still wanted that fender, and this is a mount for a light that went there. Eventually I'll buy that again. Yeah, there's a light here as well. But yeah, because this is a solid frame, I would love a full suspension, but this is all that allows for this kind of a setup right now. This I wanted for a long time, and I was going to buy it anyway, but I ended up getting a deal. I think I paid around $90 for it, which was a really good deal. It's a little bit older, but the bearings were always lubed, he said, and the guy just took care of it. And I'll tell you, it is smoothed out my ride the way I want it to be, for sure. So I guess we got it plugged in. Makes a little spark in there every time you plug it in, because, higher power setup. But I'm going to show you, these are the keys. I get 2 red ones and 2 blue ones, or 1 red one and 2 blue ones. I don't know, but that number is, these are the only keys that will work for this setup. So if you try to take your little key, it will not work. Power it on. This is what you get. The trip odometer does not work. There's my voltage. Oh, we're still pretty high, actually. I've taken a couple trips. That's still pretty good. She's usually lower than that. Tells you a bunch of information here that doesn't keep log very well, but there's your speed ratings, the power ratings. So you keep it on 1. I think it limits me to like 25 miles an hour. Take it up to 2, I can get up to 33, 35. 3, then it starts opening it up to 40, 45, and you just go all the way, and then it lets you eat as much as you want. And I haven't done many full speed pulls on this on full battery. One, because of space. Believe it or not, you need a wide open space to get that done without distractions, and there aren't any roads that are wide enough for an open long enough time that I can get this thing fully up to speed. I think I've seen 52 on there. Not quite sure. But 35 seems to get me to A to B in the place I live. As you can see, it's just kind of roads. There's nothing really fast about it, unless you go on the highway, and this isn't a highway cruiser. It's a bike, obviously. But that's pretty much everything there. These warnings, that's battery connection there. That's the motor connection, which was weird last time I turned this on. I don't know if it was because it wasn't on for a while, but that was on. That's a brake disconnect. No, that's brake disconnect. That is regenerative braking. And right now I have regenerative braking put away. It's these wires that I went back and cut them, unfortunately. But you can wire them to the handlebars here in such a way that magnets touch and the motor goes into regen mode. So it puts power back into the battery. Now at this power setup, at this high of voltage and wattage and whatever, doesn't do much. And it was, the unfortunate thing is with this system, because it might be a little outdated, might not at this point, there was a delay. And I could set the magnet up so that I press just a little bit and it turns regen on. You don't want it too soon or too late, but it definitely was engaging too late. And with me stopping and going in normal traffic anyway, it had like no time to regen. The best regen is kind of a middle ground where you coast to a stop and let the motor regenerate. And it's go, go, go until you have to stop and hard on the brakes. So that's pretty much everything there. This is cruise control. You hit this button at whatever speed you're going, and it sets cruise control. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, it has cruise control. 6 kilometer, all the bikes have that, you know what that is. The walk thing, this S button, I think, I'm not going to press it. I don't remember exactly what that does, but I'm pretty sure that changes the modes on here. So we'll take a look at the parameters next. The parameter key, a couple of you had questions and have said that I can change my output because obviously I'm not getting full wattage to this, and that could be what's causing my stumble, although that doesn't make sense because if I'm able to go that fast, it should just limit itself out. But this key I haven't used in a long time. That's what you get. Those are the settings I get right there. Rear tire size, it's about right. It's not quite right. The speedometer, I have measured it. It's about 2 to 3 miles an hour off. Speed limit, I have at total. Amp limit is not 100%. Just, I don't know if it's actually doing anything, but I limit it just so we aren't burning everything up. Add speed, not really sure. Auto sleep timer is 5 minutes. Motor speed is full. Regen braking we have off right now, but I could turn that on and reactivate that. That's max amperage that the regen braking can go back into. Obviously, I'm doing imperial. Here we measure it in miles per hour. Maybe over by you it's kilometers, but pretty standard affair in the United States. Control system throttle. Cooling fan, no. I'm surprised there's an option for a cooling fan. The motor definitely gets hot. The MOSFET unit isn't usually in danger as long as you're moving, obviously covering it up. But unless it's 90 degrees, you don't really need to worry about it. So motor temp protect, controller temperature protect. Those are Celsius degrees, and I don't think they're the highest they can go. I pulled them down a little bit, did a little bit of conversion to Fahrenheit, see what safer motor temps are. Voltage, you can change between 36, 48, and 72. Spare power, no. So that tells me I can run an external pack. And reset, no. We're not going to be resetting this anytime soon. But that is this key. I lose any of these keys and my life gets a lot harder because this won't work anymore. The only thing that you could possibly do to take it is, I don't know if you can hotwire it, but like without this controller brain interface, I mean, I don't know if it's going to work. There's a lot of pins in there, parameter controls. I don't know if you can just take the positive and negative of whatever this is and hotwire it. You aren't going to have much luck because it ain't ever going to work like it used to. This whole system needs to be intact or things are not going to work as they should. So these little things, again, I'm obsessed with lights, so those spin around the tires at night. I will show you a picture or some video of the entire system with all the lights on. I will do that in just a minute. One more thing, this kickstand is old. This boy is 2 or 3 years old. It mounts on the rear. It's cheap, so therefore it bends easily there. This is actually bent to fit in there. It's got this nice thing. It doesn't get in the way of the pedals. Pedals are still cheap pedals from another bike. since I don't pedal much, you know, they're not terribly important, but as you can see, the wire's going up there, and that mounts right behind there. It's not, I like the technical aspect of the bike and I like working on it, but at the same time, it's not fun at all to be working on this. Everything is a royal pain. It's not fun whatsoever. Changing tires is way more of a process than you ever want it to be. Kenda tires, these are some on-road tires. Could use a little air. Switched the tires recently because the back one was wearing down a little bit more. The rear one is wearing down more because more of the weight is on the back. But yeah, that's the kickstand. Overall, I measured the weight of this bike, and overall it comes out to 86.6 pounds. So we're talking a little less than 90 pounds, let's just say, for my sake. And when you pick it up, and you can't feel this through the video, but when you hold it here and you push it down the hall, and you feel the weight it's pushing, you kind of forget. Sometimes, you know, it's like, oh, come on, I wish you could go a little bit more faster or push through the wind. But at the same time, you got to remember, it's got to haul all of this and all of me with a backpack on, and I only weigh 125 pounds. Put a backpack on me full of crap, I'm 140, 150 pounds. But the fact that it goes as fast as it does for as much as it weighs, really, in retrospect, is quite an amazing thing. This thing ain't no slouch. It goes way faster than a lot of you would deem safe. I literally use it as a vehicle. It's more of a motorcycle to me than a bike, with limited life because of the battery. Range. Some of you are going to ask me about range. If it is about 4 miles to Walmart on other side of town and back, 8 miles in total, she's usually pretty drained if I take the normal road here and I have to go 35, 40 down that road the whole time. So 8 miles, she's pretty tired by the time she gets back here. But that's, 40 miles an hour. So if I take this on a normal trail and go normal bike speeds and, let's say I do 15 miles an hour down a trail, this thing will probably go, 30, 40 miles, I'm going to guess. When I was in school, using it as transportation, not going to Walmart or Walgreens or stuff. And I actually have a trailer for it as well. I'll show you that someday. That's really useful. But when I'm not going to those kind of places and stuff, and I'm just riding it to class, just riding it to the campus food center and stuff, it lasted a week. I could get a week out of the battery. And the unfortunate thing at school, it was stored outside. I'm really happy to get this battery inside. Temperature controlled environments are very important for these things. And it had to sit outside during winter. Ouch, big ouch. I wanted to take better care of it, but she's in better care now. As you guys know, projects are never finished. This thing is still a work in progress, and like everything, you could dump $1,000 into this and still not be done. Custom wheel, $200. Shot, like an air shock, like I would like, and I'll probably put a rock shock air shock on because Fox shocks are very expensive, and the amount I use this, it doesn't need a Fox shock. The Fox ones are definitely more performance oriented. I've tried this on a course before. It doesn't work. This isn't like a nimble bike that you can just move around. And I look at all the other bikes. I'm like, how are you doing that? How are you just riding it through the ditches and all around, your yard and stuff? And then I have a chance every once in a while to get on a normal bike. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. They're so light. This thing is a cruiser. It's not meant for nimble work. So Yeah, that's what it's good at. That's what I know so far. I've probably forgotten a million things. I'll show you it with all the lights on in just a second here. And then we're going to conclude the video. But long past due update. A lot of you are questioning my skills at building this. Sometime, if you want me, leave it in the comments below. I will post and show you all the electric bikes I built in the past. This is version 4/5. I call it the Raider V5. The last one was V4. The name was Genesis. The one before that, I think, was Hyper. That was version 3. A lot of different designs I've gone through, but this is the 5th iteration. Next, I would love a non-electric full suspension mountain bike. Santa Cruz is my dream bike. Don't know exactly which one, but that is the company I would go with building my dream bike. G. Milner on YouTube has pretty much the most beautiful bike I've ever seen, and one of the first videos he ever posted was of a Santa Cruz 5010, I think it was. It was a blue carbon frame with all Hope parts, and they were all this nice orange color. That bike it was so beautiful. I was like, that's the bike I would like. And I calculated all the parts out, and it comes out to a little over $7,000. So obviously not until the far future, but good cruiser. I'd like to have a full suspension mountain bike. I would love to build an electric fat bike. And I only need that one 48 volts. That one doesn't need to be crazy fast like this one. But the fat bike, I got the chance to ride one at Ben's shop, and I was just amazed. I loved every little bit of it. And for in the winter when you need to truck through the snow, I think that thing would just be a tank. This thing is your classic car cruiser. It just cruises down the road, and it doesn't do much more than that other than go fast and go with traffic. The fat bike would be more like a truck, more like, your Silverado or your Jeep Wrangler or something even more radical than that. I think it'd be really fun. I think I'd really enjoy it, and I see a lot of other fat bikes out there as well. So all projects for a future date. Here's this one. I will show you this one all lit up, and then we will call it a day. Let me know what you want to know below. Tell me what I forget, and I can prove to you if you're going to doubt my riding ability or judgment or ability to build these bikes, because I can build them, and I have. So just putting that out there. All right. Okay, here we are in the dark. Obviously, it looks like something's missing there, because it is. It broke off, and there. It used to be more lit through there, but this is what it looks like. All lit up, as you can see. Light there. Light there. Light there. Those shock lights I really like. Got the front light there, little mirror. Obviously the controller will light up. Party lights, because why not? The underglow light. And mind you, in real life, it does look a little bit different than what you're seeing. As you can see, this side has the correct frame lights. I definitely have to buy a new set of those. On this side, goes all up that side too. Oh, that's what's missing. Oh no, didn't have frame lights. It just went to there, and it's broken off somewhere in there. But, yep. That's her all lit up. That's what it looks like at night when I'm riding it, which I don't do much of right now. But come summertime, after this whole, virus situation, summer job, I don't actually drive the car every day. I take this. I ride every day to work. I rode it every day last summer, and I would plan to do it again this summer. That's why I'd like it to stay reliable, which it isn't always, but gets me to work and back. It's easy. It's nice. Don't have to spend gas money. Saving gas. You know, just all the typical stuff. But yeah, there you go. We're concluded there. Let me know what you think. Let me know what questions you have in the comments, and we'll talk to you in the next video. See you later.